predict the score. Michigan versus Ohio State, Saturday at noon. We've got a great show coming up for you. As always, Michigan football rumors heading into the game. But I want to know from you guys, predict the score, whoever is the first one to predict it, and of course, tell us what team's going to win. Going to send $25 Venmo to after the game sometime next week. Gave away one a couple weeks ago. Want to give away more. So be the first person to correctly predict the score. Michigan football rumors coming up right now. This is the rumor all over Michigan social media here on a Wednesday, a day before Thanksgiving. Justin Fields, game time decision with multiple injuries, according to people on Michigan. And then the guy I saw, I respect his work. I respect his Twitter account. So I'm not going to call it fake news yet, but I don't see any other substantiating rumors out there. So I'm giving this one Harbaugh had, which we all means small shred of truth. But my man Andrew Burris on Twitter, feel free to follow him. He's a good follow there on Twitter. Says Justin Fields officially a game time decision. Gives a little eyeball emoji. I see you. Justin Fields has a high ankle sprain and pain in his throwing wrist. Now, we also saw Justin Fields go down against Penn State, kind of the last play of the game, really, or the last real play of the game. Fumbled it, recovered it. He's had an awesome year so far. But I responded back to Andrew's tweet. I said, where are you seeing this? And I'm thinking, I'm on the outside looking in. I think I'm missing something for this game, and I haven't seen any other official, unofficial message board posts, so I'm not sure where Andrew's getting this from. Andrew, if you're watching, make sure you reply back to my tweet. Maybe there is something substantiated behind this one, but those are Justin Fields' stats. We're going to talk a little bit more about what Justin Fields would bring to the field, and of course would be missing if Ohio State would be missing if he were to be out here in just a moment. Before we do, I want to ask you guys, help us reach our subscriber goal, 6,000 subscribers. Only got about 300 to go before Saturday. If we get there, Michigan's going to probably win. I think it's guaranteed. So that's the word. Get to 6,000 subscribers. Michigan's going to win this game. And I'll tell you what, I'm going with my nephew, Aiden, 12 years old. Apparently he was a bad boy. He was crying and whining a couple years ago because my sister's husband's raised him as an Ohio State fan just south of Cleveland. And my dad said he was crying at the game a couple years ago when Michigan was up for most of it. So we get 6,000 subscribers and Michigan wins, pouring a beer on his head. That's the kind of guy I am. That's the kind of fan I am, pouring a beer on a 12-year-old's head. Help us get there. Can't do it unless we get to 6,000 subscribers. Let's take a look more at the Ohio State backup quarterback, Chris. I'm not even going to give him the respect to pronounce his name, Chungavunga, whatever his last name is. I've heard it once. It's not a good last name. 25 of 41, 275 yards, 6 touchdowns. I forgot he existed until I saw him on the field for Ohio State this year. He transferred after the 2017 season, didn't pull Justin Fields and make up a story and get eligibility, sat out all of last year, and as a fifth-year senior from West Virginia transfer, he has been the backup quarterback this year for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Didn't really do anything in West Virginia, so I'm not sure what we'd expect from him. But it's looked decent, 6 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. If Justin Fields were to be out, Ohio State will lean heavy on the best running back and the best running game, I would say, as a team in the country, led by J.K. Dobbins, 219 carries, just under 1,500 yards, 3 straight seasons with 1,000 yards, is now over 5,000 yards in his career. Should he come back next year, which I doubt he will, he would obliterate all Ohio State rushing records for their career, and maybe he has an outside chance of getting up there in the top 2 or 3 all-time in college football history. So he's been phenomenal. Ohio State would definitely have to lean on him should Justin Fields be injured or re-aggravate an injury during the game and have to come out. Guys, Black Friday is upon us, and before we get to the rest of the show, I want to make sure you guys don't miss out on these awesome Michigan football deals for the holiday season. Hook yourself up, hook a family member up, hook a coworker up. I've said this before. Dylan, you know the word. You better put the word out. I better get a gift from one of these bad boys. But these are the best sales. Make sure you guys do not miss out on it. JazzSports.com/Blue4 will redirect you to buy this Michigan football, the Jordan brand version. Not one of these Walmart knockoffs you see a guy wearing it says Michigan across. Jordan brand, number 4, available in all sizes. 30% off. Next up, we've got this Michigan quarter zip. I've already bought this for one person this year. Only $33.74. This is an awesome deal. I love this one, the Michigan football quarter zip. We're going to put the links, you see that one, chatsports.com/blue5, down in the comments and the description of this video. So remember it. We try to make it pretty easy, or you can go down in the comments, click on the link if you want to. All sale items for Black Friday can be found at chatsports.com/blue. You've got Michigan football jerseys, hats, t-shirts, sweatshirts. I think a couple pair of shoes I saw in there. So don't pay full price. We're going to put the links down in the comment section. Some t-shirts and hats up to 50% off for Black Friday. This is the place to go to get hooked up. And we're going to take it from there into a question before we continue through the rest of our rumors. We had a college football playoff show here last night at Chat Sports, going through the rankings, and put this question up there. And there seemed to be some sort of debate amongst commenters. A lot of smart people typing 1, a lot of unintelligent people from the South typing 2. Best rivalry in college football, the better rivalry of these two, Ohio State, Michigan, Alabama, Auburn. Type 1 for Ohio State, Michigan. Type 2 if you are just not smart and somehow came across this video and you shouldn't be watching it anyway. So I expect to see a lot of 1s, but make sure that Auburn and Alabama fans, they need to understand their rivalry. It's not even the best. Harrison Graham said yesterday, it's not even the best in the SEC lately, right? So I don't know where this Iron Bowl love from the national pundits and scribes and fake news media comes from. Ohio State, Michigan, type 1 all day. Next rumor up, zone and defense coming up for the Wolverines. I've been hearing about this for a few weeks, and I didn't want to believe it back in September when I first heard of it, maybe a couple months ago it was. And then you start seeing versions of it, and it's really come on, the Michigan zone defense. And do they have something special coming for Ohio State? I mean, it might be hyperbole. You hear this every year, and 7 straight losses. I'm giving it 2 Harbaugh heads, right? People are talking. Some folks that have given me good information in the past say that Michigan's going to play, up to 50% zone, try and do a lot of disguise zone stuff for Ohio State, because last year they tried all man and they got absolutely obliterated. Brandon Watson was not good enough to be the number 3 corner, and he got smoked all day. So Don Brown, his biggest game as a defensive coordinator, probably Jim Harbaugh's biggest game as a coach. Outside of, I guess, people are giving me dirty looks. How about the Super Bowl, James? Yeah, okay, the Super Bowl. Biggest game, at least, as a college head coach. He's a semifinalist for, I think, the 3rd time in 4 years at Michigan for the Top Assistant Coach Award, the Broyles Award. And if they win this game, he might win it for the first time, because he is going up against maybe the most explosive offense in the country, and frankly, if you combine last year and this year over a 2-year stretch, definitely the most explosive offense over that 2-year stretch. KJ Hill, everybody should know his name by far or at this point. Chris Olave, those are the 2 guys that everybody knows about. Benjamin Victor, sure, a good 3rd guy, but the one who's come on lately that I'm actually scared about is their 5-star out of Austin, Texas freshman Garrett Wilson. He made some nice plays against Penn State. He's up to 21 catches for 250 yards, got in the end zone 4 times. I know he's not the number 1 guy, but we've all seen how your 3rd, 4th, 5th wide receiver on this Michigan team can make a big difference, especially in a close rivalry game. So the Michigan football defense under Don Brown up to number 4 in the country. And they're really having a great last 6 games. If you take out that first half against Penn State, they've been excellent. They've been one of the better in the country since the beatdown in Madison, Wisconsin. Number 10 in the country, giving up 16 points a game. And Don Brown, as you heard me say, he better bring some zone, because he is the only defensive coordinator in Michigan football history, and Ohio State Michigan football history, actually, if you want to be real, the other one, to give up 30 points to the opposing team in 3 straight years. So Don Brown, this is your opportunity to right your wrongs as a defensive coordinator. You haven't been able to stop, outside of really the first half of 2016 and maybe the first quarter of 17, you haven't stopped Ohio State since you've been there. And neither is Jim Harbaugh. Ohio State scored 30 or more all 4 years of Jim Harbaugh. He's also the only head coach to give up that many points 3 years or 4 years. Let's try not to make it 5 years. So if you see Don Brown in zone and some disguised zones and aren't playing one-on-one where a 4th receiver slot guy is just gonna streak across the field 6 yards in front of the line of scrimmage, catch the ball on Michigan's 5th corner and go for a touchdown like we saw over and over last year, then Don Brown has grown up as a coach and he's been able to adapt his system to beat your arch rival, your enemy. Folks, I woke up this morning, I had a dream. I had a dream of victory in the big house for Michigan. I had a dream that it propels them to a national championship last year, and it all starts with this video. The dream said I rolled out of bed. It was Sunday morning. This video had 500 likes on it, and Michigan won the game on Saturday, and it all comes together. So get us to 500 likes in this video. It is a guaranteed recipe for victory for Michigan. This video here gets 500 likes. Michigan will win. So before you leave, before you're done watching it, click that like button. And oh, by the way, you Ohio State fans who have been flooding the comment section of the videos from earlier in the week, go ahead and hit unlike if you want, okay? Don't just sit here and be a fly on the wall, taking in all this Michigan football greatness that we put on this show. Click dislike, because I don't know how many of you are watching it, but that's the dream. I think it's going to come true as long as we hit 500 likes on this video, so hit it. Now, next and final rumor today is Michigan have the best interior offensive line, guard, center, guard in the country, and I was critical of them early on, especially the first month of the season, but there is some compelling stats. I'm giving this one 3 Harbaugh heads, and the most compelling stat came from a Pro Football Focus writer who analyzes offensive lines. Talk about the worst job you can ever imagine in sports, a guy who analyzes offensive line for a living. But Jared Evans, he does it. And basically he says, Ben Bredesen, Michael Onwenu, Cesar Ruiz, the top 2 being Michigan's guards and Ruiz being Michigan's junior center, have not given up a sack this season. Have not given up a sack this season between the 3 of them. And that's pretty incredible. And they're not going to necessarily go up against Chase Young directly, but I certainly think if they're doing their job, Michigan will be able to free up guys to help John Runyon, maybe Jalen Mayfield, to double up on Chase Young a little bit throughout this game on Saturday. Is this the best interior line in the country? Is this the best offensive line in the Big Ten? John Runyon Jr., the first-team All-Big Ten last year. Ben Bredesen, this year's first-team preseason All-American. Cesar Ruiz, Michael Onwenu, who was on Pro Football Focus, speaking of them, their midseason All-American team. And then the only returning starter, or the non-returning starter, the new starter this year, Jalen Mayfield, the redshirt freshman. 2 of these 5 guys will be back next year. Obviously, Runyon, Bredesen, and Onwenu will be off to, hopefully for them, the NFL. Leading up front was turned into, over the past 2 games, a fun Michigan offense to watch after being one of the least fun I've ever seen in my life over the first 6 games of this year. So something happened at halftime against Penn State. Saw a few theories out there that did Jim Harbaugh pull Gaddis into his office at halftime against Penn State and just said, fuck it, man, do your thing. And they've been actually playing like a speed and space spread offense since then. Seems reasonable because I don't know what the hell they were doing the first 6 weeks of the year. But why don't I remind you guys one more time, win $25 from my pocket to yours. We'll Venmo you guys. Predict the score, Michigan, Ohio State. Feeling good about this one, folks. I'm feeling good about this. But don't let Michigan football players see them. If you see any Michigan football players Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday morning, make sure you tell them, you guys can't do it. You've got no chance against Ohio State. You guys suck. Maybe you can fire it up a little bit because it seems to be that last year they read a little too many of their press clippings went into the Ohio State game thinking they were going to win. I can't have them going to that game thinking they're going to win this year. One more time with our Michigan promos, all the sale deals for Black Friday can be found chatsports.com/GoBlueHats, hats, shirts, jerseys, t-shirts, shoes, up to 50% off. That is today's show. We'll be back for you on Thanksgiving with another show. Michigan, Ohio State, the game, Saturday in Ann Arbor. Can't wait for that one. I guess we got a little more of the show to go, Dylan. I think I cut myself off. So this is the play. I am just jumping the gun here, saying the show's over, but nevertheless, not having a good show today, am I, Dylan? We've had to do multiple cuts, which normally doesn't happen for this show. We'll just do an outro now. Just go to the live outro, Dylan. I'm cool with it. I have not shown up today for this show. I hope Michigan shows up a little bit better on Saturday. Thanks so much for watching the Michigan Football Report and sitting through my little flub in the script there. Nevertheless, make sure to subscribe, get us to 6,000, and I might pour a beer on my 12-year-old nephew's head if Michigan wins. And while you're waiting for the game, I got a couple more Michigan football videos for you right here.